Hello, thank you for joining me. I'm Pauline from PQW. I just want to show you a little bit more about our Quilt As You Go sashing templates. These are the beautiful purple templates on the table here in front of me. We have 4 different sizes ranging from 3-inch, 2.5, 2 and 1.5. So these templates allow us to make our sashings with stars, flying geese, checkerboards. We can even make triangles for sashings. Now the reason we've designed these templates is because when we make sashings for Quilt As You Go, we don't start making them like a normal sashing. And I'm just going to explain a little few things to you so you get an understanding of why we've designed the templates, so we can make it really easy for you to make all of these beautiful sashings when we start joining our quilts together. And I believe any quilt pattern out there basically can be turned into a Quilt As You Go quilt. So let me just take you through just a few little things with these templates. Just to explain a little bit to you, if I'm going to be doing triangles on my sashings, they're going to start out like this. They don't look like a right-angled triangle. Now, when I first started developing this and I was doing the maths that are involved in cutting these sort of shapes out, it was getting too hard for me, and in turn I knew it was going to get harder for you when I start writing my patterns for Quilt As You Go, trying to get you to work out all of these different measurements that you would have to have. Because doing our sashings like this, once we construct them, we need to turn them back to create the points to give us our proper triangles. So we have to allow all that excess to turn back under, different to if we were making right-angled triangles for a normal quilt. So in doing so, I decided that it would be lovely to make the templates that would make the stars, the checkerboards, the triangles and the flying geese, and that's why we've put them together in the sets. So if you're going to want to make a 2.5-inch sashings to go between your quilts, you'd buy the 2.5-inch set. You're going to get all of these templates in there. Watch the videos on how we use them to make all the different sizes and all the different constructions that you can use. And you see the flying geese, they look fabulous. So to start with, when we developed the templates, I wanted the templates to be easy to be cut around. I didn't want them to slip on you. So we've come up with this really brilliant little design element on the back of each of our templates. These are non-slip grips built in to the templates. You can hear that noise. It's a grid, very tight grid, and it's built into the template, never ever wear off. So if I'm going to cut around this template, and I can layer my fabrics. I could layer 4 or 5 different colours together. I'm just going to use the one colour here. Put your template onto the fabric. If you've got a nice straight edge, you can use 2 of those edges along the side. Now, I find using a bigger rotary cutter, it makes it a little bit more difficult to cut around there. So I strongly recommend using the 18mm cutter, because when we cut around, it sits right against the template. So when we cut around, and you'll see on a lot of our templates, we've nipped the point off here to make it really for accurate piecing. When we line everything up, it's going to make it so much easier. But when we cut around here, we can end up with little threads that we don't quite cut through. So just a little tip on cutting around those edges. Instead of having your blade rolling when you're doing that, just rock it. Rock it forward. Come to this one, rock it. Now we'll cut along here and along this side. So when I get to this corner, I'm going to rock the blade again to start with. So now it just pulls away. I haven't got any of those little uncut threads. We have that. So now what we do to make our triangles, we cut all of our colours out that we want, Then we cut the white out the same, and we're going to join them together in units like this. Now, having these ends cut off, when I line this up here, it lines up exactly to the end. You can see where your 1/4 inch is, and you're going to just sew down to this end. So then you're going to start, as you can see here, we've sewed the 2 bits together, make up your units, and then join your units together till you start to construct the whole row for your triangles. So once you get your units constructed into the length that you need, you're then going to be turning these back to the points. Now, to make this easy for you, we suggest you use the appropriate size sasher tool. So if I'm going to make this into a 2.5 inch sashing by using the 2.5 inch templates, I'm going to use the 2.5 inch sasher tool. Just come and fold this back to the point. Now, this is a very short strip, so I could just stand here at the iron and fold them back myself. But if you're doing a big long run of sashings, it's much easier to put it into the tool. Come up and back down. We're going to pin this into the ironing surface. Just grab a pin here. And I do like to use the double fork pin so that I put the pin in each side together to give equal tension to my fabric strip. Just help it a little bit, keep it on the side. Then we just simply, with the iron, tap over those seams. That gives you those beautiful, beautiful points that you're looking for, because I think we all love to have perfect points. And there we have our beautiful, beautiful triangles ready to stitch between the blocks. So my next step would be, once I get this done, I cut a piece of my wadding that is just a little bit narrower than this finished size here. We'll just open it out. You've got a permanent crease that your tool's given you. Lay this inside, fold over and over. Just give it another little press, like so. Then I join my 2 blocks together with what I call a spacer strip. This is a piece of the backing fabric that was cut 3 inches wide, seam it with a 1/4 inch seam. Then I come back and I put the 2.5 inch wide sashing. I glue it in place with the Roxanne glue basted, and then I stitch right on the edge. And that's simply how I put my quilts together with a lovely sashing. Quilt as you go. Very, very easy to do. If I want to make a checkerboard, I use the smaller template for whatever size I'm making, cut out all my pieces, join them together in pairs, join the rows together, put that through the appropriate size tool, pop a bit of wadding in it, and then you have your checkerboards. A great way of using up all your scraps of fabric. If I want to make the stars are what really started me on this journey. I'm going to cut out my squares. I have some cut out here. The template, we've designed it with a split through the middle. We've put that split there so that we can mark the diagonal line that we're going to be stitching. So just mark that. So there's our line. If we're going to make a 2.5 inch wide sashing, we're going to cut this 5 inches wide. This is a sashing. We're going to lay this down and we're going to stitch on that line. Once we've stitched on the line, trim this back to 1/4 inch. Take that out completely. Then this is going to be folded back like so after it's stitched. We come back with the next piece which we've got the line marked on, we stitch across there. Then we trim it back. So there's the 2 points on. We've trimmed back. You can see how neat it is. Then we'll fold this and put it through the appropriate size tool. Always start it off first. Come back up from the bottom. So remember, if you're making 2-inch sashings, use the 2-inch set and the 2-inch sasher tool. And how cool do those colours look together? We've made them nice and bright so they stand out, that you don't lose them in with all the other tools that we have. So once again, pin, and we just press. So you can see how easy that is to make your star points. Open it out, put your piece of wadding in. Then that would go, I'll just lay this here. That would come over this seam, but remember the wadding would be in here because you need to fill it out. If you don't put the wadding in there, this is going to dip down. It needs to be the same depth as what your blocks are. So we put, once we start now putting the rows together, we're going to construct it like so. So we make up the units like I just showed you. We join the units together by using the big rectangle, cut around that, seam it with your 1/4 inch seam, put that through your tool, once again, fold in and in till it meets. And once you learn the step by step, it makes it very, very fast and quick because you can just stand at the ironing board, cut out all your sashings, sew all your units together, then go to the iron and iron them all. And you just then top stitch them over the top of your seam. Just push through. When you get to those seams, and it's much quicker when you're on your big ironing board and with your bigger iron. When you get to those seams, just simply tap the iron over all those seams. Tap the tool with the iron and keep going till you get the whole set done. Fill it with your wadding. So you can see the points there. So now what we're going to do is we'll have our 2 sets on like this. Remember, this is what I call a spacer strip. So what I will do next is join this spacer strip between these 2 rows. Okay, so that'll be joined with our 1/4 inch seam. And then we come back through with this unit that we've made, and there is our beautiful star. We just top stitch that on. So you could construct a whole quilt like this, and look how spectacular, get rid of those threads, how spectacular that looks and how easy it is. There's nothing hard about it. It's just, hopefully we've taken the pain out of it by developing these templates for you. So all you do is work out what size you want, purchase that appropriate set, then you can make all of these different wonderful sashings to join your quilts together in our Quilt As You Go technique. If you don't know about how we put our quilts together, Quilt As You Go, purchase my Quilt As You Go handbook because it shows you all of the different ways that you can join the quilts together to have an outcome, and it really is enjoyable, and you're not trying to deal with that big quilt under the bed of your machine if you are a person that struggles quilting a large quilt. So we quilt each piece first using our quilting templates. We draw the design on, we stitch on the line with our feed dogs up, open toe foot on. We have complete control quilting just simply by stitching on a line. So I hope you've enjoyed that. It's just a very little brief introduction to our sashing templates and to our sasher tools for folding the fabric to give you a perfect finish. I would suggest, if you're a person that makes a lot of quilts, buy 2 or 3 of the different packs so that you can make any size sashing that you want to go between any of your quilts, and be a star of quilting. Be a star. Put your quilts together using all of our different techniques. So have a look at our website. Get yourself a bundle. Go on there, and we've got a facility on our website where you can put different things into the cart, different things that we suggest to get your own bundle together. Don't forget you need the glue. But visit our website www.pqw.com.au and subscribe to our website so that you can get our newsletters. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once you subscribe, hit that bell so you get a notification every time that we put a new video up for you, because we want to teach you as much as we possibly can to make your quilting journey very enjoyable. So till we see you next time, bye for now.